This is one of the most quizzical places I have ever seen. There are some things you can look at long enough in other parts of the world and do some basic research and understand, oh, that's what this is or that's what that is. There's people putting up maps now of Brazil where they're showing what they believe to be graves being dug. The problem with that story is that Brazil has been exploding as far as population goes for a long time. And they don't have the vast tracts of land to create cemeteries like we do. And I'll just leave that there. We'll talk about that another day. But I wanted to show this real quick because this shadow stuck out to me. You see this perfectly rectangular shadow right here? Well, this thing right here that we're looking directly down on is what's causing it. And when you look straight down into this thing, those look like stacks. Those look like exhaust stacks. Look at the shape of these things across the top of this tower. That absolutely looks like something constructed. And you can see more of them if you look closer. Shapes like this don't occur naturally, and the reason I chose this particular one is I know whatever is casting the shadow looks blurry, but look at this on top. You're telling me that wind, ice, rock, and snow somehow, some way created this perfect shape that looks like some type of an exhaust and you can actually see almost a cloud right here. This looks like some kind of a power generating station. I don't know how you see anything but that here. Let me orient it so that it's straight up and down. There we go. You can literally see the cloud of darkness right here. You can see the stack. You can see the more dense part right here. You see, this has been my allegation. A lot of the things that we find down here aren't direct evidence of something visually. It's what they've forgotten to redact in shadow. Or at this point, part of me believes they don't even care. And the reason I say that is looking at the reaction to the most recent events here. Nobody really did anything. They just kind of did what the government said and took their medicine. But whatever's going on here, this is an intelligence. You will never convince me that these two shapes right here are just, that's what happens when you have snow and ice and then the wind blows and then the rocks take a certain shape and then they take a picture from a certain angle. No way. Nope. Sorry. When you can look straight down the pipes, and you can see perfectly straight walls going straight up. I mean, this is just about as easy as it gets. I mean, I know it's not, dragons or serpents or anything like that. But this is, it could be some government we don't know about, Russia, China, maybe someone in Europe. Or it could be something completely different. It is a continent that has only a few thousand people on it that have come there, and they set up camps right at the edge, and they pretty much stay in their camps. I've had some people say, hey, I knew somebody who went to Antarctica and they said this, and this. I'm like, really? Did they explore? Were they out flying around and looking at places? Most of them probably spent 99% of their time inside, in front of a computer or some other device. And there's stuff, and like I said, I'll zoom out here. There's areas like this all over the place where you can find things that just do not make sense. I know this one is even more blurry, but there is definitely a skull-like shape here. And I'll say it again, as the ice melts down here, more things are going to be uncovered. Things that are partially uncovered, things that are damaged, things that maybe we just don't know what they are because they come from a foreign civilization. See if we'll find one more thing here. You see, part of this, when I look at stuff like this, when things begin to melt, they take all sorts of different shapes. And when things decay, they take even stranger shapes. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with this term, the Montauk monster, which has been largely debunked. Anybody who's ever seen a raccoon or a possum or some other small animal that has met its demise and the sun has worked on it and different predators have worked on it. That's what that was. It was a raccoon. It was just that the skull had been cleaned off. But I wonder sometimes about shapes like this on a larger scale. People have seen large parts of whales that have washed up and wondered. There was one thing in particular I wanted to show you guys, and I forget where it was. Sometimes I should do a better job of labeling things. Sometimes I start looking at places and I'll just throw down pins so I remember where they were. Well, maybe we'll do it in the next video, so. Just really, really weird stuff, guys. So, anyway, I'll leave it there. I'll give you the coordinates for those, basically what look like two factories, two shadows, and you can make up your own mind. And there they are. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next time.